Hi, friends. My name is Nick Chase. I'm one of the co-artistic directors here at local theater company, and I have the great pleasure to be joined today by my dear friend.
By Edith Weiss, who is one of the playwrights for the local lab.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Um, Edith, you've written a play called Fierce Satire and Mediocre Sex.
yes.
Um, in your own words, how would you describe this play?
Well, I would describe it as a comedy, sometimes a tragicomedy, that is about the human condition. I think that the thing that binds us together, and I don't mean to be maudlin, but the one single thing that binds us together more than race, more than beliefs or religion, is that we're all going to die. So the question is, what do we do while we're still alive? And that's kind of what I go from one piece to the other, looking at things like that. Not really finding any answers, but maybe looking at things in a different way.
So you hit on something in that response. You talked about going from one piece to the next. Fierce Satire and Mediocre Sex is a collection of short plays put together under this title. Could you tell me a little bit more about why you chose to write this episodic, or rather, a series of plays that comprise a single play?
Yes. Well, I I've been writing short plays for competition for some time because I'm a self-employed person who's also an artist. That means I'm unemployed a lot of the time. So what do I do with that time? I love to write. So I have been writing these short plays, and the ones in this collection have been in juried competitions uh, in Manhattan, in Chicago, in Kansas City, literally all Boston, all over the country. So I thought, well, these are really good. Is there any way, and again, I was unemployed, is there any way to give them a new life? And I was looking at all the stuff I had written, and I realized, yeah, there's some themes in here, the things that I'm really interested in my life. And that's why I put them together. Might I say, with the changes I've made from the first time that we produced it at Bunport, thank you, local theater, because it is now, you could now call it fiercer satire and still mediocre sex.
It's a great title. I'm curious what inspired the plays themselves and the title.
What inspired the title was that's exactly what this is about. I mean, there is a piece in there about mediocre sex, and there's a lot of satire in there as well. But also, not the kind of satire that sets out, for example, to attack a person, no matter how loathsome that person might be. It's more, it's more attacking ideas that have maybe gotten away from us, that maybe don't suit the most of us. Am I saying this right? Is this understandable?
It is understandable. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious what you hope to really sort of discover during the week of local lab, or what are some of the discoveries? Because I know you've already been working with
Mhm.
the director of this workshop, Rodney Liscano, and the dramaturg, Christy Montour Larson.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious what you're currently unpacking with this story and what you hope to unpack, during the week of workshop, and then the reading with the audience,
Yeah.
becoming involved.
They have already helped me immensely. Their main thing was a way to make the therapist more in the moment, not just as a presenter of the next piece, but who is the therapist? How do these things affect her? How does a person who was once a stand-up comedian, how does she become a good therapist? Because at this point, she's not great. You know, she's trying.
And we're
So,
talking sort of about this therapist who's sort of the narrative through line and comes back in between these various pieces.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yes. And another thing that Christy and Rodney said were you have to have something in each piece that leads us to the next piece. And I thought, yeah, they are so right.
Hmm.
The audience, putting in front of an audience is a gift because the audience will let you know what lands. I really work hard to keep it, to put as much humor in it as possible. I think that if we look at the world without humor right now, we're going to just crash and burn individually. We're going to become so depressed, and depressed people are powerless, and then we can't do anything. So I try to always maintain that. I stay busy and I keep my sense of humor.
Hmm.
Period.
Is there anything else that you would like to say to an audience before they come and experience this great play that you've written?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank them for coming to the actual theater. I think theater is the only entertainment medium that isn't trying to sell you something. When you watch a TV or a streaming or even go on your phone and do these things people do on their phones, even the movies now, somebody's always trying to sell you something. And they're trying to sell you something to homogenize us. We all have to be skinny. We all have to be young. We all have to have great, big, fat, bushy hair. Well, that is that taking away of our individualism is how you can herd people. You put them into a herd and then you can control them better. They're so busy working out and being muscular and buff and stuff that what's important kind of falls away. So I've already forgotten the question. I really have. What was your question?
Yes, that's beautiful. No, if there's anything else that you wanted the audience to know prior to experiencing your play, and I think that was actually a pretty informed answer.
Excellent. The only other thing I want them to know is I myself am an immigrant. I am the first person in my family to go to college. That is also reflected in this and in my feelings about things that are going on.